Let's talk about your pre-marketing plan for those listings that you really want to get sold. I'm hoping you have 3 weeks for it. We don't always. Sometimes we've only got a few days to put it up on the market, but I've got a whole outline here for you for 3 weeks detailed. But first, I want to know, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? You like Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael's kind of chilling right there. But for me, Ninja Turtles, it's going to be Leonardo. I love Ninja Turtles. All right, so with that, and if you haven't read the comic book Ronin, Last Ronin, where there's only one Ninja Turtle left, that will ruin it for you. You've got to read that. So let's talk about pre-marketing plans. I want you to start in week 3. So hopefully you get 21 days prior to putting this on the market. A lot of your success will come from actually planning. Think of the art of war, right? Where you're saying, hey, you've won the battle probably before you even start, depending on your planning. And in this case, it's the same thing. I want you to prepare by week 3, counting down, remember. You are going to get a professional photographer to go out there and shoot the most amazing pictures and do a 3D tour. If you're looking at giving a better idea to the consumer of what the property looks like, if they're walking through either a video tour or an actual virtual tour of the property, those are always good. If you want to get drone footage, I would suggest that you get a few different angles. One from directly above down, so people can take a look at what the home looks like. Even if it's a townhome or a condo, people like to see the complex of what it looks like. And then one angled upwards and an angle down, so you can see the home. And sometimes your broker or the seller will say, hey, do me a favor, block out the homes to the side, blur them out for legal purposes when you go and market the home. If you see other homes on the side of it, that's some added bonus for you. Next is BoxBrownie. I'm not sure that any of you use this, but for about $4 or less, you can now grab the best picture of the front or maybe the backyard or the aerial at an angle and give it the most beautiful sunset or change up the clouds. And I think BoxBrownie does this so well. In fact, while I'm at the property, if I want a nice outline of the floor plan, I kind of doodle it and then I send it over to BoxBrownie and they come up with the most amazing floor plan of all. You can also use Home Depot for that as well. The next one is the seller story. This is one that we missed. And let me tell you, it's probably the most powerful one because it adds to the marketing, because people want to know a lot more about the home, but they want to know it through the seller's eyes. Why did the seller move into this home? How did they choose the area? What do they love about it? What do they love about the neighborhood? What do they love about the home? What's your favorite feature? Right? These are things that we completely skip over and can enhance the marketing. So sit down with your seller. In fact, go to ChatGPT and ask, hey, create a series of 10 questions for me to ask my seller about why they love the home in the area that they're selling and how they chose it. And then it'll outline it. And you can go to the seller and say, when you have some time, can you answer these? It'll help with the marketing. And let them know we're going to share them, right? Stories. And then once it's done, go back to them and say, hey, this is what I've got. So they don't freak out and they see something they didn't want out there. Next, home details. Get them from the seller. Walk through the property and say, hey, what about this? What about this? Did you install this? What's the story behind this? Take time to go through the home and get the details. If it's not you, then get your admin to do it or someone on your team. Next, get ready for the just listed postcards to start outlining what they look like, whether it's a different messaging depending on the story that you want to tell, where it's located. Start outlining that on Canva. If it's not you, go to your team, go to your marketing team, or if you outsource it to somebody else, start already thinking about that. Also, one thing that's completely missed, which we love doing, are the seller letters. We want to make sure that the neighbors, about 20 around, 30 around, we send them a personal letter. You can, again, go to ChatGPT, have it write out a really nice letter, go to the seller, say, does this look good? Do you want me to add anything? And is this okay with you? This is what we're going to do as part of marketing, because sometimes the neighbors, they want to bring in somebody that they would love to live close to them, and you never know. So that's one of the things we do, because it helps us on the marketing side, saying, hey, wow, these people are doing something that we've never seen before. And more importantly, on our end, if they don't have anyone, they may end up wanting to sell with us, right? So they're going to get a just listed in the future, a postcard, and they're going to get a letter that day or that week that it comes out on the market, or you're going to door knock it, right? We haven't gotten there. But start looking at creating that letter. Next is a home inspection. We have our home inspector come through and do a pre-inspection so that there are no surprises again, right? You're planning to succeed, and you're planning so that there are no surprises or less surprises. Because if you're going through with the inspector, and the inspector's coming through and saying, hey, this needs to be fixed. Ooh, this may be an issue that's brought up during the inspection when the buyer comes through. Now you're prepared. And then you go to the seller and say, hey, seller, do you want to fix this? Or are you okay this coming up during the actual home inspection? The buyer's going to come through and say, hey, this doesn't work. Or what about this? Less surprises, less negotiation while you're under contract. Next one for week 3 is a floor plan, which I already brought up. I like to just doodle it while I'm walking through the home, right? And then I send it out to BoxBrownie, and they create some beautiful thing. But if you want exact measurements, then you're probably going to want to go to your local Home Depot. They offer it. Go online, take a look at floor plans. Type in floor plan, Home Depot, and you can see some options. Once that's done, then you can even send that to BoxBrownie, and they can make it really pretty and with colors and trees and all that good stuff. That's week 3. Now, week 2, get ready. Hopefully you're writing this down. Or if you're listening to it, go back and write it down. Week 2. And I'm looking at it, so I'm cheating here. This is not off of memory. Week 2, marketing graphics. Start looking at what the marketing graphics are going to look like now that you have the pictures back. Go and take a look at which ones you're going to use as your main pictures for the graphics, for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, newsletters, for the flyers, for everything. And they don't all have to be the same picture for it, right? But you're going to have main pictures, especially if you went to BoxBrownie and got them redone. That's a must. Prepare all of the week 3 items now. Now you're solidifying and saying, okay, I've got the graphics. I've got the pictures down. We're going to do the postcards. This is what they're going to start looking like. I've got the letter now. I've got the marketing remarks. Now is when you start solidifying everything week 2, because now you're making sure that you're tidying up. You're not leaving it to the last day. Next one is you're going to walk through the home and gather any missing information. This one, when I do this one, I'm always surprised at what I missed the first round. I'm like, damn, I missed that. And so I'm going through, I'm saying, okay, that's going to be an added feature. The seller also, when you're walking through with them, they'll probably point out a couple of things that you may have missed. And you're like, that's cool. Thank you for telling me that. So do another walkthrough. Next one is termite inspection. This week is when we have our termite inspector come through. And I'm in California, so we have termites. And they come through and they say, it's got termites, or it doesn't. Again, we're planning to succeed instead of not planning and failing through when we're under contract. And surprise, it's got termites, or you're going to have to tent it or something else, right? Do that. Next, invite past clients to the event that you're going to have on day 0 or that weekend when it goes live. So that means you're going to make a list of your past clients. And there are a few agents that do this very well out here. And so we just added this one, and we've tested it out twice. Neighbors really like it. Past clients love it. because they always want to take a look at, well, what's out there, right? And it feels special when they're getting an invite from us. So typically the invite is through a newsletter, and we create single property websites for all of our listings. We use a company called Rela HQ, really pretty, and we could take that link and blast it out as well by text. So take a look at them. We have no affiliate with them, just a great company. Next is we start ordering the signs. So in some areas, some signs need to be custom, and so we have to order them ahead of time. In other areas, it's just a sign, but depending on how many listings you have, you may want to order a brand new sign, maybe with a sign writer if there's something special about this home. So think about that as well, but start ordering signs. End of week 2, that's it. Now, going into week 1, this is crunch time, 7 days, counting down. Here we go. Start with the Facebook ads. What are they going to look like? Instagram ads. Are they going to be carousel ads? Is it going to be an image? Is it going to be video? Is it going to be a combination? Are you going to throw in the floor plan in there? And are you going to try A/B testing? Different body, different heading, all the details matter, right? And if you know us, Trenton runs all of these, and he runs 5 different ads and then picks one based on which one gains the most momentum. So we start preparing our Facebook ads. Next, we start preparing our Instagram ads, and if we're running YouTube ads as well. So all in social. Now what we start doing is getting all of the neighbors' phones and information ready, because we're going to now start mailing so that it gets there on day 0 or day 1 of when the property goes live. And we also get all the information ready so we can start calling on day 0. And we get it from Radex. So I think I'll put the link down there if you want to test them out. But here's the key. When you're reaching out to the neighbors and you're letting them know on day 0, hey, Joe, it's Tristan. As we put your neighbor's home on the market, maybe 5 doors over or the street over. And we're just letting all the neighbors know, and we're inviting them. I'm not sure you got the letter that I sent you. If you haven't, you'll probably get it today. But we'd love to have you over this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We're just doing an hour early open house just for the neighborhood. So you can come in and take a look at it. Even if you're not going to sell, it's just so you can kind of look and see what you like this design, or you like what they did here. I always get ideas from my neighbors. So we're just inviting all the neighbors. That's how I kind of play it. And then when they say, oh yeah, we'll be there, or, oh no, thanks. Or it's for sale. I didn't even see a sign. Yeah. You know what? It's day 0. So maybe the sign hasn't gone up yet, right? But if it has, they'll be like, oh, we saw a sign. We were wondering what the price was, right? So it sets you up for the next calls that you do after, right? So we love that one. Now we start getting the mailers ready for just listed. We're typically putting them in the mail probably on a day 5, day 6 before it goes live on the market. This way, it starts actually showing up in people's mails on day 0, day 1. Check with your local mail. And next, we've got right here, we mail the letters. This one is key. We're only mailing to about 20 to 30 people. Very personal, very authentic, right? We're typically in the letters, we're letting them know what's happening with the seller. If they sell their home, what's happening, like where are they moving to, or what their next step is. And so I usually go over this letter with the seller to make sure that it's information they want to give out, but it helps so much. It adds another dimension. This is probably one of our secret weapons for getting more listings and for connecting with the neighbors really, really well. Use that one. Next, we're getting ready to text the clients in our database, anybody who lives close by, and letting them know that we've got this home up for sale. We reverse prospect. We use Lofty. You can do it on other CRMs, but we use Lofty, and we take a look at what's everyone's price point, and then we reverse text everyone and say, hey, this is a property we've got. It came out on the market today. Today's day 0, right? Because we're preparing. And we send them out a quick text with the link that has the property information or the landing page, whatever you want, or a video that you make, right? That'd be a good one. The next one is we're emailing local agents on day 0 when it goes live. And when it goes live day 0, know that we're not doing any showings on day 0. We're building a little bit. We're hopefully, if it goes live on a Thursday, then we're going to be hosting the very first showings on the weekend, either a Saturday or Sunday. And that's when we're inviting the neighbors, right? Because the neighbors are usually home on Saturdays or Sunday, depending on what you want to do. I highly recommend that because it builds momentum, right? Day 0 should be probably Friday, and day 1 and day 2, Saturday and Sunday. This way you have a lot of people coming through, and it builds that perception around the neighborhood as well, if you do it right. Next, we get the teams ready. My team, if you've got team members or people in your brokerage, ready by creating graphics for them with the listing information with their picture. And we say, okay, now blast it out everywhere so that it looks like you have a brand new listing because you're part of the team, right? And so now they can get more calls from that, or at least it shows that they're busy or busier, right? Because we're helping out our agents. And we tend to do that with other agents in the brokerage as well. Last one is we also make a graphic for the owner of the home. And we say, hey, blast it out to your close friends by text. Here's a graphic with the information, and email it to people that you want, maybe at your work, or here's a flyer for you. Here's the link. So we give them everything. And we say, we instruct them, we'd like you to text your close friends and family. If you have a really small email list of where you work, ask your boss if it's okay to blast it out, or if you're the boss, blast it out. And here's a flyer that we printed out for you. If you want, we can print out more, but you can take those to work as well, or put them anywhere you want at work as well. And those are the things that we do. I know I left out a couple of other things, but I've got this whole thing outlined for you if you need it. Let me see where it is. It's a PDF, and I was reading off of it right here. Here's what it looks like. And by the way, we use this on a listing presentation. It's kind of all we bring. And people are like, oh yeah, it's great. Sign me up. Don't overcomplicate it. It's really easy. You just need a checklist. Let me know if you need this. Also, if you found this session useful, please subscribe, like it, share it. Let me know what else you want to hear. This was a suggestion from one of our coaching clients. Says, Tristan, you should talk about this one because it's so good. Have an awesome day. And let me know what your favorite Ninja Turtle is, if you even like the Ninja Turtles.